want to talk to you about building a practice station, and I want to talk to you about how easy this is. So you're gonna have to get in the car and go over to Lowe's, not Home Depot, because this one particular piece you got to get at there, or you just go online and order it online. And again, I would order it from Lowe's for this one particular piece. But I want to show you how you make this stuff. So first things first. First, I've already cut out an 18-inch strip of this. This is a 3/4 inch PVC pipe. Now, the reason why I use the 3/4 inch PVC pipe is for a little bit later here, but suffice it to say, this is the best. It's the sturdiest. It's very, very firm. This isn't going to bend when you cut it to the length that you cut it at. So you cut one piece at 18 inches, okay? The second piece that you're going to cut is at 2 feet, roughly. If it's 25 or 26 inches, it's fine, but it's roughly that length. So what you do, you take your 18-inch, you hold it down here. You're going to go roughly 6 inches down from there, so that's going to be more or less to this spot right about here. And then you're going to have this PVC pipe cutter. You pop this like this. You pump that a couple different times, right till it gets to the PVC pipe. And then, this is where you're working on your strength. And you just go right through. And there you go. Make sure you clip it so it doesn't open up. And now what you have is you have 2 pieces of PVC pipe, okay? And now you have a couple other things that you need. One of the things that you're going to need is this little piece here. And this is what they're calling like a saddle PVC pipe. It's 3/4 inch this way. Let me put this stuff down here for a second. So this is 3/4 inch for 3/4 inch pipe. The opening is about 1/2 inch. And then the female side right there, which has got some grooves in that, right, that's 3/4 inches. Now you need this piece right here, which is the male side of the PVC. It connects this way. So you screw that in like that. And that side right there is now able for you to slide that PVC in there. That's also 3/4 inches. So you got 3/4 inches and 3/4 inches. I like to tighten that up. You don't have to do it super tight, but this is how nuts I am. I like to tighten it up so that both of the markings for, what you pay for it. What do you call that thing? I don't even know what you call that. But anyway, what's that? Barcode. The barcode. Okay, so both of those are on the same side, so I've got blank. And now what I'm going to do is this. I am going to take, and what I've done with this PVC pipe here, I'm going to go up to the camera. You can see there's a blue line right there, a blue Sharpie line. I've drawn that there. I try to make that blue Sharpie line so that it's right dead in the middle of the saddle. And then you just snap it together. So that goes like that. Okay? So now I have that. And now I take my 2-foot piece and I put this in here like that. And now I've got my T. All right? So there's the T. Now, I set that T down. Now I'm going to get a golf club. Now, here's what you're going to practice. The first thing that you're going to practice is you're going to practice putting the golf club in either square, closed, or open. And it depends on the shot that you're trying to hit. So you choose the position of the face. But what you're going to do is you're going to have that face parallel to this PVC pipe, the long PVC pipe, and you're then going to put that in right there. Grip it, and then all you're doing is you're just putting that in. And you're just getting used to what square looks like. And then what I like to do is I like to take the club, turn it upside down, now bring it right back, try to get what I think is square up here, and then come in. That was a little bit closed. So now okay, that's pretty good. So now what I'm going to do and this is not something that you're necessarily going to do indoors. This is something that you would do outdoors. I put the ball right in the middle of that tee right there. So you can see that that's perfect. And the back of the PVC pipe is basically where the club face is going to be aligned. So I'm in here like this. Set that in there like that. Club face is square. And now I hit my shot. Okay? Now, I'm not working on distance. I'm not working on strike. I'm only working on setting the club face in there square. And when I go over here, go ahead over to this one over here, Gibbsy, see if you can pull this up. What I like to do when I say square for me is really, you know, I like a little bit of a cut shot. So I like to see that thing have just a little bit of spin. Greg, maybe you can put a trace on that golf ball. But I like to see a little bit of spin to the right. So when I see 108 right, I know that that's a relatively straight shot. And Gibbsy, if you pull that full, what you're going to see is that has just a little bit of a fall to the right-hand side. It's not, for all intents and purposes, it's a straight shot, but that's a little bit of a fall. 108 RPMs of right side spin. It's a pretty straight shot. So I have the club lined up exactly the way I want. And this is a very simple thing for you to do. So the first thing you're going to use this for is making sure that you're putting the club face in there square. So again, you put it back there, you grip it, get it in there, and then go. Kind of got a little bit trapped on that one, so I made a bad swing. But the point is that club face is exactly how I want it, and I'm checking that every single time. That is something that you can do in your house. You don't have to hit golf balls. You're not worrying about what's going on with the swing at all. If you're outdoors, fine. But I don't care about the golf ball. What I care about is, can I get that club face, that leading edge in there square? That's what you're working on. And believe it or not, you'd be stunned by this. Many times, you all will get into these shots that you're hitting, and you're not even thinking about the position of the club face, which is the most important thing. You're not even thinking about that. So I want you to pay attention to that. Set that thing square that way. Okay. Now, the other thing is, Gibbsy, if you can go down the line. One of the things that I do is I take this line, and this line is more or less where I'm trying to hit the golf ball. And I would say start the golf ball. So if I want to start it left, I will skew this thing over to the left-hand side like that. Then I put my golf ball in here like this. And now what you can see, if you go face on, what you can see is that now this bar right here, the perpendicular bar, is going to the back side. Go back to that other shot you had, Gibbsy. Yeah, because I want them to see how it's no longer perpendicular to camera one. It's actually offset. So when I get in here like this, it almost looks, if I remove this thing, you look at that and you go, that's a really forward ball position, which is what a lot of people tell me. They go, man, Breeder, you got it really forward in your stance. No, I'm trying to hit cut shots. And so I aim a little bit to the left. So when I take this and I put this down right here, my ball position is just a little bit more than a club head inside. But if you look at where that pipe is, that thing's almost in the middle of the stance there, according to my feet. So when I get in here like this, now all of a sudden it gives me this image of swinging along the line that I have the pipe at, and now I can start it to the left, and I can hit my little cut shot. All right, and that one there, at that point when I start altering that, now, come on over here, now what I look at is, where did it start? That's what the horizontal launch is right here. Where did it start? It should start left, because I skewed the alignment, the alignment stick, which is a small one, I skewed that over to the left-hand side. And I got that to start to the left. Now pull that shot shape full, and what you can see is that started to the left, and it spun more to the right. Again, 820 RPMs of right spin. That spin is what makes for the greater curve. So when I'm doing that, what I'm teaching myself, and something that's really valuable for you, if you're a drawer of the ball or a fader of the ball, and you build this thing and you bring it to with you to the range, you want to make sure that you don't set it up like we've heard this all the time. You want railroad tracks. No. You want to feel like you've got railroad tracks, but those railroad tracks are skewed to the left and to the right. I don't necessarily want my railroad tracks to be at the target. I want my railroad tracks to be to the left of the target, and I want to hit that little cut that I'm talking to you about, and I don't ever want to see that thing get to the right of my target. So I want to hit a cut that starts left and moves to the right, but never moves past the target. And that's how I'm using that thing. Now, the next thing that you're going to need is, and this is optional, one of two things. Either a roll of tape, I got yellow because it sticks out, or it's hard to draw with a yellow Sharpie, so I get a blue Sharpie, okay? Now, what I like to do here is this. This is where things get to be kind of fun. So I'm going to take another piece of PVC pipe, and gives you, if you can go down the line, that'd be great. So let's go down the line. That's perfect. So now, what I like to do is, I like to put this PVC pipe in my back pocket. Not going to hit a shot. I'm also going to do the same thing with the Sharpie. Bring a ball in here like this. And now it's what I call the dance step. Now this is something that absolutely you should do at home. And this is going to help you get your ball position in the same spot, both left and right, but also, if we go down the line, near and far. Okay? So, when I'm hitting my 6-iron, now let's go face on. When I'm hitting my 6-iron, I want to have the ball just slightly forward of the center of my stance. So I want the ball to be right around where my eye is. That's what I'm looking for. I want it to be right around where my eye is. So when I take the ball and I put it around where my eye is, I look at this, I go, okay, I want this to be a little bit more than a club head. I now go, where's the instep of my left foot? And it's right about there. So what I'll do is I take my pen and I just go to the PVC pipe and I just make a little dot, a little blue dot. And then, not done with this, but I'm going to put this down. And then what I do is I go, okay, what feels natural or normal for me with my weight distribution? And now, as we go down the line, I'm kind of feeling my weight right in here. Am I on my toes? I don't want to be on my toes. I don't want to be on my heels. I want to be kind of centered. And I want my arms to hang out just a little bit, kind of right underneath my chin, my ear, right in that neighborhood there. And so then what I'll do is I'll take this pipe and I'll put it right there. Now that's a temporary thing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here, get set up to this and go, you know what? That actually feels quite comfortable. Motion felt pretty good. Again, I'm not worried about where the ball goes. I'm just making a motion. I'm just trying to feel where things are in my weight distribution in my feet and also distance to the ball. So now, what I'm going to do is bring that ball in again. And this is one very, very important part to this, which I'm going to share with you in just a second. But I bring that ball in again. I get set up. And I verify. I'm a baseball guy, so I always try to do things 3 times. So I verify, and I hit, and I verify again, and then I hit, and I go, okay, this is where I want to be. So now what I do is I take this PVC pipe, I put it right here, right up against the toe, and another mark right there. Okay? Now, mind you, I'm using a 6-iron here. So after I've done this and I have verified, okay, this is exactly where I want to be, now when I come into my stance, I'm bringing this toe, my right toe, up to that blue spot. The left one's up to the blue spot. And now all I got to do is make sure that I widen this out to this blue spot over here on the pipe. So I go like that. Now, here's what I like to do. Okay, so now I'm going to take a piece of yellow tape and going to put that yellow tape right on the pipe, just like that. And then take another piece of yellow tape, and I'm going to put this right up here. Remember, you're going to the instep, so where that blue dot is, you're going to put the tape, start it where the blue dot is, okay? Now, I put that down, and now I've got my tapes. Now, what I'll do when I have those yellow tapes is I'll write a 6 on that. So I know my 6 iron, I'm here and here. When I get to the driver, believe it or not, the driver's going to start to, the longer clubs are going to start to work more towards the pipe, the middle pipe. And my other one will start working down this one. So with less loft, I'm going this way. With more loft, I'm going this way. Okay? But it's really, it's not a lot. It's like an inch. You're not talking about a ton. So now you put that down, bring this in, and now what I'm doing is, with that ball where it is, and there you go. I've got my setup. And what I get is I get a very, very good shot. Good straight shot, has a little bit of a fade to it. I might have nudged this a little bit squarer. That golf ball now starts pretty straight, and it spins a little to the right. Gibbsy, bring that shot full if you would, and you can see I started dead in the center of that target and then faded off of that center. So like I said before, when I'm wanting to hit cuts, I don't want that pointed straight to the target or parallel to that target. I want to be to the left of that, okay? But I'm using these yellow pieces of tape now to make sure that I've got the ball position in the right spot, my distance to the ball correctly. So when I say ball position, I'm talking about ball position left and right and ball position front and back. And what I want you to do, and this you can do at home, because this is the dance step that I talk about a lot. And everybody was asking questions on the radio show this morning. What about, like, and I shouldn't say on the show, but people are reaching out on the show. And they, what do you mean about the dance step? What's the dance step? The dance step is this. Let me put this club down for a second. So the dance step is this. I'm bringing my trail foot in, and I'm bringing it in so that it's parallel to this pipe right here, that piece of pipe right there. I don't want to bring it in like that. That's closed to that. Gibbsy, I don't know that you necessarily need the split. I think you can just go face on, yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing that in that way. And then I'm going to bring this one up here to this yellow strip, and also so that the inside of that yellow strip is right there. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Now, when you start doing this step, this is where I want you to go down the line if you would, Gibbsy. This is a really important part of this, so pay attention to this. When I bring this foot in, I bring my left foot up to that spot. Right now, my left foot, I put that too far. Now, if I drop back from here, now all of a sudden I'm closed to what I'm trying to do. And I can see that the line of my toes right here is not parallel to this anymore. And it all got messed up because my left foot went too far in. So in what I do, I'm always trying to bring my left foot when I bring it in. I never want it to go too far. If it goes a little short, that's fine. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring it right up to the yellow. So I'm going to go yellow, yellow, yellow. And then I just go yellow, yellow, yellow. I just keep doing this. Left, and it's important for the instep, left, right, left. Or for those of us that are really paying attention and aren't dyslexic, right, left, right. Okay? Because the left, right, left is not really that way. It's right, left, right for me. Right, left, right. And all you're working on is just feeling this. If you need to put a piece of pipe down there, you put a piece of pipe down there. Typically, the way to do it is to connect it. Okay? So what you can do, believe it or not, is you take this piece, you hook this on there, you got another piece, you hook it on there, and you put it on top there, and it sits up above it, which I can show you how to do that later. But my point is that, and if you Gibbsy, pull this full with a 10, if you would, you can see all the PVC pipe that I have over here and all these different connections and adapters that I've got here. So I'm using this all the time. But the long and short of it is that you're going to have a line, if you need, that's going to be like right there. And what you're doing, go ahead down the line if you would. Yeah, there you go. So what we do is we go up, up, up. And you got to make sure that when you pull this second foot up, that it's the same. And when you bring the right foot back, that they're parallel. So you're always getting the toes the same distance away from that other crossbar. Okay, so here, here, here. And I just want you to get used to that dance step. For me, again, in my non-dyslexic mode, right, left, right. Right, left, right. So that's how you're working on the step. Then you've got your club in here. So now you go, and this is how I do this. I feel my distance, and then I go right, left, right. So my right foot comes in here. I'm bobbing in here, and then, okay, I'm good. And I drop in. And that's how you're going to develop a consistency of ball position, a consistency of weight distribution, a confidence in what you're doing in your alignment, and a trust to be able to just make your motion, not worry about where you're aimed, because you've done this so many times. Okay? So you take that Sharpie pen, you're going to write on those little spots, which I'll move this here. So you're going to write a 6 here and a 6 here. Now, when you go to your range to practice, this just disconnects like this, and you put that in your bag. And then you come out to practice, and you assemble it just like that again. And by putting that 6 on there, you're always going to know that this stuff is in the right spot. And with that blue line that you've drawn on here, you know that's in the center of the pipe. So there's consistency in what you're doing with this, okay? Very important for you. Now, I want to talk to you about how you're going to use that with the putter. So you're indoors, and you're working on your putting stroke. You do a couple of things here, because this is what a lot of people will do when they get inside. First, I've built the exact same thing here prior to the show, and I set this thing down like this. Now, what you're going to see on my mat is a yellow piece of tape. That yellow piece of tape is where I'm putting the right part of the arm right there. So that's going to go right there. So I put that in there. Also, too, by the way, yeah, you can see that right there. There's a little paper clip there. And I have these on this mat. So right up here, back that out just a little bit, Gibbsy. That's a little too far. Go back in where you were, but just back out a little bit. There you go. So I've got one here. This is 6 feet. This is 8 feet. And then go back to this other one. This is 10 feet here. And then there's another one back here that's 12 feet. So I've got from 6 feet to 12 feet that I'm working on in my putting stroke. But right here, I'm on the 8-footer. Okay? And so what I do here with this is the following. One, I need to do the exact same thing, only inside I can be a little bit more precise with it. I don't necessarily draw on this one. What I do is I measure my distance to the ball. So I'm going to step away from this over to here for a second. And I know that when I am getting into my golf ball with putting, I need 2.5 putter heads. So what I do is I take the putter head and I put it down right up against my right toe. That's one. I keep my eye on where the toe is, and I put the heel to there. That's 2. And then I keep my eye on where the toe is, and I put the heel there, and that's 3. So right now, you can see that that toe, or the ball, is on the toe of the putter. So I'm going to say an inch away from the proper spot. So I'm going to move up an inch. And now I go 1, 2, 3. And I'm right where I want to be. So now what I do is I have this other adapter that I have here. So I'm going to go like this. 1, 2, 3. And that's about it. So now I take the other adapter here, and I step on it right there, and then I lay this thing down. And that's my distance. So now, if I bring my toe up to here, and I go 1, 2, 3, I have the ball right in the center of the putter head. Now, here's how this works, just so you know. Go ahead back down the line again, Gibbsy, if you would. So when I put the ball in, that ball is 1 putter head from that top bar. So there it is. So when my toe and the ball are in the right spot, now when I set up to hit this putt and I drop this from my eye, it's going to hit the heel of the putter, which is exactly where I want my eyes. So I'm 2.5 putter heads from the ball in the distance from the ball. And so what I'm going to do, put the putter in, make sure I'm aimed correctly, and now stroke. Good. And again, all you're doing is you're just making sure that all this stuff is the very same. So you get out, you come in, you get that toe up there to that, get set up, you feel the weight in your feet. Now this is an 8-foot putt, and I will tell you this. When you get to where you can make putts comfortably in this 4 to 8 foot range, your handicap, your scores, they're going to come down. And so I am on this. I tell you this all the time on the show. I am on this putting mat every single day, which is why I want you to get the putting mat. And I spoke to my buddies over at Big Moss, and I said, guys, I need you to be able to open up to the community an opportunity for them to get a Big Moss putting mat. I would love it if you got the Let's Do This mat, but it doesn't matter to me. You get whatever mat you want, but get a putting mat. And so they're going to give you 20% off at Big Moss Golf. Just use that code BREED20, and you're going to get 20% off. Whatever mat you want. It's a great gift. This happens to be my favorite. I don't work on long putts. I mean, 12 feet, yeah, but I'm not working on these, really long putts. I'm getting really good in this sort of 4 to 12 foot area. You get to where you're 4 to 8 feet and you have confidence in this, you are going to play so much better. And the way it starts is by really focusing on and paying attention to what you're doing before you put the club into motion here. So, again, set up here. That ball is 1 putter head away. Now I'm in here like this. Get my alignment, and then you're just hitting the putt. I don't want you to think to yourself, you have to make a perfect putting stroke. You're not working on the putting stroke right now. What you're working on right now is the proper distance to the ball. And then when you've done all this, you take that away, bring the ball in. I like to, when I'm trying to make putts, I like to imagine that I'm on the golf course. So I'm going to take these practice putting strokes, and now I'm going to go in. That feels like I'm pretty much the same spot. And a good putt. And what I like to do is I like to make sure that I'm doing this consistently. This is going to be work. This is not like we're not giving stuff away. You got to work for this. Okay? So now I'm in here like this. Now, the next thing that you're going to do is this. After you've gotten comfortable with that, now you're going to take this arm off. Because now you're going to use the tee to help you. So you get in here like this. You find your comfortable distance right here, and now you measure. So now I'm 1, 2, 3. I'm off by about 1/4 of an inch. So you keep practicing this. So now I got to move up 1/4 of an inch. There I am right there. Feels pretty good. And another one that would have gone into the hole. So you're using this tee right here to help you with your putting, with your full swing. The address positions are vital. And then all that happens is that you're just disconnecting this like this, and you're putting it into your golf bag. When you come back out, you attach it back up, and you will be stunned how much better this is going to help you. The other thing that I would tell you that's vital to this is the consistency with which you do it. You got to do it every day. You got to do it every day. It's not what you want to hear, but you got to do it every day. Even if it's just for 3 minutes a day. I come into the studio, I hit my putts. I'll hit 7 putts, 4 to the straight and 3 to my break. So if you go down the line, Gibbsy, the hole that's over here to the right, that one right there, that's a straight putt. This hole that's over here behind me, you can just see that white spot right there. That's a little bit of a breaking putt. So that's a right edge putt. So I get my ball, I aim to the right edge, I go through the exact same stuff that I'm doing, and then I hit it to the right edge. And I don't start my day until I've made those 7 putts. You can do something similar to that. Maybe what you want to do is I do it at 8 and 10 feet. Maybe you want to start at 4 feet and make 4 in a row, and then go to the breaking one, right edge, 4 in a row. And then you get to go. It doesn't take a lot of time. It just takes patience. It takes understanding that you have to work for this. They don't hand this away. But when you start to do this, this is how you get better. This is how you improve. And a simple thing like this little tee is going to really help you improve. So again, what you do, go to Home Depot? No. Go to Lowe's. And because Lowe's is the only place that's going to have that saddle piece that allows you to disconnect this very, very easily. So you get that, you get your pipe cutter, you get some sort of a measuring tool. Maybe it's a yardstick, maybe it's a tape, whatever, and you measure out 18 inches, 24 inches. You get these 2 pieces to connect them to the adapters, and now you've got a perfect tee. And once you have the perfect tee, now you're ready to go. You get that tape or that Sharpie, you make the lines on there exactly how you want, so you know exactly how far away from the ball you should be, where that ball is positioned for a 6-iron, a 7-iron, an 8-iron. And you might not have the tape, but you might just be writing, hey, there's a line here, this is 6, here's a line here, that's 7, and you just mark it all up. Your tee should have numbers on it, or tape on it in all these different spots so that the ball position is absolutely the same. I tell you this all the time, and this is something that Greg and I have talked about a lot. Not really sure whether the grip is the most important thing or ball position is the most important thing. I can't tell you. They're at least tied for first. And I've been leaning more and more and more over these past years into ball position being more important than the grip. I really believe that. And so, while I haven't fully committed to it, I'm definitely leaning that way. And what I can tell you is that this is going to take care of one of the most, if not the most important parts of your swing. What you're doing in pre-swing, what you're doing with the position of the golf ball, and what you're doing to allow you to make the swing that you can make without having to think a whole lot. Okay?